Last week, we opened up the season. Just a couple hundred miles north of us here, the new Smyrna Speedway, and Angel Olvera went to victory lane to open up the new era of the Herr Sprint Series. Well, tonight, Angel Olvera is not in the race, so we will have a new winner here as it's Sprint Series Night in America here in Miami, Florida, the Homestead-Miami Speedway. This is the South Florida 200, the second race of the season in the 2024 Herr Sprint Series. Hello everybody, this is AG here, and welcome to the Homestead-Miami Speedway. We are opening up the points-paying season in the Wawa Cup Series 2 nights from now, but these guys have already started their season, and we're on to the second race of this 32-race campaign, and it's going to be very, very interesting because we have 21 drivers in this field who ran last week, but as I mentioned, our last winner is not in this race. That's Angel Olvera, who went to victory lane last week in New Smyrna, so the doors are open for a new winner here in the Herr Sprint Series. Join alongside Nathan Stapleton for the call up tonight's event. And Nathan, you got a couple of drivers in your cars today. You got Brandon Nelson in the 92, and then you also have Aaron Bates in the 80. Neither of them are really starting up front, but here at Homestead, you can work your way from the back to the front here in this 34-lap race. What do they need to do to get to victory lane here tonight in the South Florida 200?
Well, you mentioned that Homestead is a very multi-groove and very easy to pass mile and a half. It's not one of those mile and a half that are bottom feeders and very tough to pass. So even though my two drivers start towards the middle and the back of the field, that's not the worst place to start here at Homestead. Really, anyone can win this race depending on what ends up happening. And it's going to be a wild one here at Homestead, as it always is. And I'm interested of how different this race will be compared to the Wawa Cup Series with no lanes.
Of course, equal ratings for these guys. The Wawa Cup Series still very fresh in their ratings, so we're going to see all these guys all over the place to begin the season. And of course, in this race, there aren't any pit stops, but it's a 34-lap race, one of the longest races. As a matter of fact, the longest race we have ever had in the Herr Sprint Series up to this point. Most of the other mile-and-a-half races will be 25 laps long, with this being one of the opening races of the season, a little bit extra length, a little bit more time for these guys to work their way to the back, from the back to the front. I mentioned 21 drivers in this race who ran last week, and organized by the fastest lap at New Smyrna Speedway. Christian Master, regardless, had the fastest lap in that New Smyrna race, so he starts on the pole position alongside Skylar Taylor. Both of those drivers ran in the Smooth Fest last Friday night, and of course, top four eligible finishers will run in the Wawa 400 this Friday. So a lot at stake for those guys to have an opportunity at a Cup Series win as well. But we got a Sprint Series win to hand out. Let's go ahead and show you guys the points as we come into this race. Angel Olvera is the points leader, but like I mentioned, not in this race here today. He's got a 5-point lead on Christian Master. Aaron Abel and Skylar Taylor both 6 points behind, and then Eric Monaco 8 points behind. Of course, very early on in the season, still 31 races left to go until we crown a champion on Labor Day weekend at Darlington. But hey, it's a strict points championship all the way through. There's no chase. You gotta get your points while you can, because each point matters here in this Herr Sprint Series. Christian Master, like I said, starts on the pole here tonight in South Florida alongside Skylar Taylor. We got the 64, that is Aaron Abel once again, but Eric Monaco is in the 4 machine this week. Of course, he had a good run at New Smyrna last weekend, and he is back driving for Titan Fury here at Homestead. Balthazar Steep blew his engine at New Smyrna, finished dead last, but had the 5th best fastest time of the eligible drivers. Of course, he returned this week, and he'll be starting 5th alongside the 50 of Herr and Alonso. We got ourselves the 05 of Anthony McClure alongside Chris Reynolds in the 52 machine. Michael Lewis is in the 13 this week, like he was last week, alongside the 69 driven by Felicity Mendoza. She had a pretty good fastest lap last week at New Smyrna Speedway. Vinny Scholes back in the 93 alongside Brandon Nelson in the 92. 57 this week, that was the car that won with Angel Olvera. It's now driven by Joe Rutkowski here at Homestead, alongside Nathan Faden in the 1. You got the 02 machine of Alexander Rowe to the inside of Juan Cruz Amayo Romero in the 87. Dylan Matthews in the 93, alongside the 25. That car driven by Zayden Davidson. The 80 machine is Aaron Bates this week, alongside the 5 of Santiago Labarito. Andrew Williams in the 53, and then our 3 drivers who were not in last week's race. Of course, everyone who was in the prior race starts ahead of those who are making a new start. Of course, if they were not in last week's race, they start in the back of the field automatically. Priya McShane is in the 99. Ryan Madden in the 90. Great to hear that name again. And then first career start for Jared Martin in the 96. But we'll see all these guys here tonight run all different types of lanes around this Homestead-Miami Speedway. Let's go ahead and get these guys to roll off here for the second race of the season. And Nathan, a very strong field as we saw last week. Of course, the Sprint Series has a much stronger field than it used to have. So many veterans, but you also got a couple rookies in there. Who do you think is going to go to victory lane here tonight, the Homestead-Miami Speedway?
Well, like you said, a very competitive field, and this is a very competitive racetrack to go along with that. I'm going to go with someone in the top 10. I'm going to go with my good buddy Travis Manson's team with Anthony McClure in the 05 here tonight.
Definitely a very good pick right there. We'll see if Anthony McClure can get his first career win on the channel. I know he's got a lot of wins elsewhere in offline NR, but has never won here on AG the channel before. A great opportunity this season for him, though. He'll be in all these races as a full-time driver. We'll have to see. Triad Racing was really good last year as well in the Sprint Series, but of course, no ratings. Going to make it kind of interesting as the season goes along. 24 drivers in the field here tonight. And of course, top 4 finishers will run in the Wawa 400 on Friday in the Wawa Cup Series. Of course, the top 4 eligible drivers, of course, in this race, Aaron Abel, Aaron Bates, Herr Alonso, Andrew Williams, Joe Rutkowski, and Vinny Scholes. The same 6 from last week are ineligible for the hot seat as they are all owners in the Wawa Cup Series. Here we go! It's Sprint Series night in America, and we are here, one of the best mile and a halves in America. We're Green Flag Racing in the South Florida 200 at Homestead. And already, look at this. Crazy stuff up front. Baltazar Steep from 5th starting position is going to lead lap number 1 and a bonus point towards the championship, and definitely a bit of a rebound from what he had last week at New Smyrna. But look at this, 4 wide back in here. They've got to be careful. They're all over the place on this mile and a half racetrack.
Well, when we say that this track is a multi-groove racetrack, we mean it, especially if you have to start 3 and 4 wide throughout the entire field. The guy that blew up last week is leading here at Homestead, as they are still throughout the entire pack. Here comes 93 of Vinny Scholes. Won a title last season in what was the Sprint Series, I believe.
Pro Series.
I mean, not
Rowdy Energy Pro Series when she won it. Of course, the Pro Series last year, very similar to how the Sprint Series kind of is now. Equal rating series, essentially. Or at least the Pro Series is kind of halfway, because midway through Caleb took it over and then it became equal ratings midway through the season. But either way, Vinny Scholes now out front. Aaron Abel, who had a solid run last week, looking to back that up. You know, he doesn't have too much experience as a driver in a stock car. Of course, the owner of Racing Motorsports in the Cup Series, looking to get something to go his way. How about Alexander Rowe in the 02? Now, this is a guy who has a lot of experience. A past Daytona 500 winner in the Cup Series, as we got some cars scraping that wall significantly. That was Christian Master. 56, and Dylan Matthews as well, but Master smashed that outside wall. Our pole sitter already down to the 24th position here, 4 laps into this race.
Well, one thing that we didn't really talk about in the pre-race was, would there be a chance of having a Homestead stripe, and unfortunately that happened early on for the pole sitter, as I picked the wrong Triad car to be good here tonight, because Alexander was moving in that number 02 machine, and to the race league he goes, as here comes the A up to 3rd of Aaron Bates.
Stuart Gratton's development driver, hence why Aaron Bates is ineligible for the hot seat, but regardless of the fact, a great run for Aaron Bates right now in your car. Hey, you guys had a great season last year in the Sprint Series. You guys won more races than anybody, I think, when you had Trey Barta driving for you guys there, and I forget who your other driver was the majority of the season, but regardless of the fact, you guys had a great season in the Sprint Series. You've always had a successful Sprint Series operation, and it looks like that might be continuing here in 2024. Aaron Bates pushing Alexander Rowe to the race lead. Rowe's going to slip up, and here comes the 80 machine. Felicity Mendoza's up here. Baltazar Steep, a couple of rookie drivers right there, only in their second career starts on the channel, running top 5, but it's Bates leading a lap there on lap number 6.
Well, we got me and Travis's team battling side by side for the race lead. A pair of Fords and actually 3 Fords in the top 3. Actually 4 Fords inside the top 5. Ford really showing the muscle here early on in this one. Little fact I don't know if you knew, but Burger King's actually headquartered in Miami. So a home race for Burger King, trying to get a win. That's 4 wide off of turn 4.
Wow, how about this? Jared Martin, first career start on the channel for him right here. Top 10 run right here in the Sprint Series right now to the outside of Priya McShane. Both of these drivers were not in last week's race, so they came from the back and worked their way through the field. We see a lot of shuffling here. I mean, the guys who started up front, they're more towards the back there. Christian Master deep in the field, Alonso as well. Chris Reynolds and Dylan Matthews, not a good run for those guys. But a lot of the guys who started deep in the field have moved their way up towards the front. Baltazar Steep, though, to the inside of Aaron Bates for the race lead. And the top 4 drivers in this field right now have made fewer than 5 starts on the channel. How about that? We've got a lot of experience in this field as well, because behind them, you got Alexander Rowe, you got Vinny Schultz, you got Brian McShane, you got Andrew Williams. So many guys who have so many starts under their belt, led by 4 guys, all looking for their first career win, all under 5 career starts on the channel. Felicity Mendoza to the race lead. Here comes Michael Lewis in the 13. Alexander Rowe, the experienced veteran, right up here with these guys. Up to the 3rd position is Steep in the outside wall.
Steep blew a engine last week and was bound for the lead, but gets into the outside wall off of turn 4. How about Alexander Rowe? This is fantastic racing. 3 wide for the race lead now here at Homestead, and watch out. That 9-3 of Schultz might make it 4 wide. Watch out for 8. He might make it 3 wide.
How about Aaron Bates here? Oh my goodness, this is intense right here. And you know what? The racing is going to be like this all year long because it's an equal rating series. So these guys are going to be right on each other the entire season. It's going to be different in the Wall Cup Series, obviously, with the ratings as they progress throughout the year. But these guys here, they all know they got an equal shot each and every week, and they are going to be going for it like this each and every week indeed. How about Andrew Williams here in the 53 for Hollywood Motorsports? Of course, Andrew Williams had a great year in the Turkey Hill Truck Series last season, won twice, won at Pocono and Las Vegas. Here he is up to the 3rd position, but how about the veterans? Of course, Vinny Schultz, not necessarily a veteran, but she's won a championship, so I think that classifies her as being eligible to be up with these guys. Alexander Rowe, though, still leading this field in the 0-2. And you got Nathan Faden, the highest of the full-timers right now here in the 1 for Trackhouse Racing.
And the second driver of Trackhouse, the 99, not too far behind as well. And now here comes the other 2 Triad and NS Racing cars, the 05 and the 92. Of course, we've seen the 8 and the O2 lean, but the other 2 are starting to make their way up to the front. And the racing tonight has been absolutely insane. Classic Homestead racing, 3 and 4 wide all over the place. Now, how about this? The 53 of Andrew Williams side by side of Vinny Schultz.
And Andrew Williams trying to rebound from his miserable run last week in New Smyrna Speedway. He comes into this race with only 4 total points. It was not a good run. And of all the drivers who returned from last week, he had the slowest lap time, so he started 21st in this race. Right now in a battle for 2nd between Nathan Faden and Vinny Schultz. This is exactly what Alexander Rowe wants to see, though. They're 3 wide right behind him. It's going to slow him down just a little bit. And that 0-2 might start to pull away. And hey, even though there aren't any pit stops in this race, tire wear is still going to come into effect. And we saw last year, especially in the Cup race here, once we got to the end of the run, it got a lot harder to make those passes with the tires wearing out. And these guys are starting to spread out just a little bit here. It's going to be very interesting to see if it ends up staying that way, and Alexander Rowe might be able to pull away, but not even halfway through the South Florida 200. This race is twice the length of what it was last year, so twice as much of an opportunity for something to go wrong for these guys. How about Priya McShane, top 5 in the 99? How about Trackhouse Racing as a whole right here? Nathan Faden looking to close in on Alexander Rowe for the race lead.
Fords looking pretty good. 3 out of the top 5 are Fords. Faden trying to close in on Alexander Rowe for the race lead. That shows side by side with Priya McShane in the 99 for the 4th spot. How about Travis's team? 1st and 6th Now here comes the 05 as my pick. As old boy
Michael Lewis.
closes up the wall.
That was a little close there between Michael Lewis and your driver there, Brandon Nelson. Skylar Taylor in the middle of all that right there. That could have been bad, but thankfully they kept it together. And look at this. They're 4 wide in the very back of the field. It's Alonzo Christian Master. Ryan Madden, his return to racing on the channel. Great to see him back. It's definitely not the return he was hoping for, being that far back. Not a good run for Appalachian Motorsports. I'm sure they're looking for a much better run in the Cup Series on Friday night. They are starting to single file out throughout the field here, and that's where things get quite difficult to make passes. But we're halfway now here in this South Florida 200. Alexander Rowe leads at the halfway point. Nathan Faden, Alexander, or should I say Andrew Williams, Vinny Scholes, and then Priya McShane. That is the top 5 here on lap 18.
Lap 18 of 34, a very fun race so far, a very fun race track of Homestead, Miami. Faden with a great 1 and 1 and 2, side by side, Rowe and Faden, the 3 and 4, and side by side for third back there. Great racing, right when we thought it was going to single file out a little bit, but Rowe whips the outside lane, could keep the race lead, but battle continues for third.
Faden unable to make the move there. But how about Vinny Scholes looking to the inside of Andrew Williams? You know, the cream line rises to the top. We always say that. And how about these guys up front? Alexander Rowe, Nathan Faden, Vinny Scholes, Priya McShane, Andrew Williams. All those drivers have multiple wins on the channel, all in the top 5. I mean, we had all those rookies not too long ago, but these veterans, they've come up front, and so has Nathan Faden, clearing to the race lead on lap 19 ahead of Alexander Rowe.
That was a little bit tight off for turn number 4, almost a little bit of contact between Faden and Rowe. I think Rowe might want that top spot back, though. Want to chase him down. Oh boy, crossover off of turn number 2.
How about Alexander Rowe? Great run for him. He's been able to keep this car up front pretty much this entire race. Meanwhile, back in the field, Baltazar Steep, who was out front not too long ago, is at the back of the field again. In a position to possibly finish dead last 2 races in a row to open up the season. Not exactly what you want, especially with no chase and a strict points championship. But either way, all these guys have an opportunity at this win. Look at how close they are now. They're all on each other trying to get around these guys for the race lead. Alexander Rowe's got some help there from Vinny Scholes for the top position. And here comes Priya McShane in the 99. You know, she's got a lot of talent. Hasn't won in a while, but she has won in this type of race car before a few years ago, so no surprise to see her run well in this 99 machine.
Yeah, without a doubt, Priya McShane doing a great job here. We're going to keep that top spot, but we still have 13 laps to go in the Sprint Series here tonight. And it has been fantastic, and I don't know who's going to win. It could be Rowe, it could be Scholes, it could be Priya McShane, it could be McClure, it could be Bates in the 8, it could be, is that number 4? Yeah, that's the 4 there.
Monaco.
It could be anybody inside the top 10 right now.
How about Eric Monaco rebounding once again, looking to back up his solid run from last week. You know, the points lead is at stake here. Aaron Abel's not up here. Skylar Taylor's not up here. Anthony McClure and Eric Monaco were both top 10 in points. And even Alexander Rowe, who's leading, you know, they're all going to have a good opportunity at going into Daytona, the points leader. And hey, next week, the Daytona 250. That's essentially our dual race because an opportunity to race in the Daytona 500 presents itself next weekend. Of course, sign-ups for that race coming up in just a few minutes right here on the channel, so you definitely do not want to miss out on that and miss out on an opportunity at going for the Daytona 500. Right now, Alexander Rowe, Priya McShane, Anthony McClure, and it's either Nathan Faden or Eric Monaco because both Aaron Bates and Andrew Williams are essentially team owners. Juan Romero in the 87 also up here as well, trying to get that last transfer spot into the wall 400. They've got to be careful. Aaron Bates just smashed the outside wall.
That was expected 4 wide off of turn 4. It normally does not work, and unfortunately the Burger King machine got a little bit toasted on that right side. That's why he's going to toast it again. He's going to do it again. Well, not good home race for Burger King.
Too toasty there on that outside lane.
Yeah, maybe a little bit, but fantastic racing. Homestead amazing, and speaking of the racing, battle for the top spot almost between Lowe and McShane.
Yeah, still 9 laps to go here at Homestead, and Priya McShane trying to find a way around Alexander Rowe. Anthony McClure might still have a shot. How about Triad Racing? We saw a lot of this last year where their 2 drivers would always end up front. They might not get the win. Here comes McShane for the race lead. You know, how about these guys who are signing up each week? They definitely seem to have the advantage on the full-timers right now. Alexander Rowe, Priya McShane, not locked into a ride full-time, but of course they're still eligible for the championship if they continue to sign up each week. And you got Anthony McClure here and the 05, who is full-time, highest of the full-timers right now, running in 3rd, trying to close in on his teammate and Priya McShane for this race lead. Alexander Rowe on the outside. Gonna lose it. McShane will clear for the race lead with 7 laps to go. 8 laps to go, excuse me.
Yeah, of course, last season, with the lanes in play, obviously saw a lot of Triad and a lot of NS Racing. And even with equal lanes, it looks like Triad Racing switching over from Dodge to Ford. For the series, they seem to be pretty fast once again. So it could be something that we might have to watch out for all year long. And now, this could get interesting because both Triad cars are up front and let's see for race lead. Will and McShane again. The top spot. Watch out for the 05 to right through the middle. No.
McShane had to check up just a little bit right there. McClure could have split them if he decided to do so. Didn't decide to do so. And look at this. 4 cars under a blanket here with 6 laps to go at Homestead. More or less 6 cars under a blanket with 6 laps to go at Homestead. And look at this. Nathan Faden's going to make it 4 wide for 2nd. McShane slips up, and the 05 in the middle. Andrew Williams is there as well as Alexander Rowe once again takes the race lead here at Homestead. You know, of all these guys up front, he's been the one that's been able to consistently keep his machine up front. Faden, how about Eric Monaco here in the 4 as well? Trying to make it into this Wawa Cup Series race as well for a 2nd straight week. You definitely want the opportunity to run in the Cup Series and show those guys what you're worth. But they're all showing what they're worth right here with 5 laps to go at Homestead in the South Florida 200. What an excellent race this has been here in the Herr Sprint Series.
I think excellent almost might be a understatement. Homestead once again delivering and showing why it is one of the best one-halves on the schedule.
That was tight. We've got a caution for you, though, in this race so far. Hopefully we won't have a caution right at the end like we did last week. Monaco for 2nd here on Nathan Faden. How about Titan Fury? You know this team's good. You know that scheme is good. Of course, I know Drew Webb doesn't race that scheme anymore, but that was the scheme that went to victory lane 6 times in the Wawa Cup Series last year. And you know what? Eric Monaco is going to have a great opportunity getting the Alexander Rowe here tonight. Anthony McClure trying to hold off Zayden Davidson. Great run for Davidson in this race in the 25. He's top 10, trying to find a way in as that was tight between Faden and Monaco for 2nd.
Yeah, you know what? That fast enough scheme was 6 times to Webb. Monaco's trying to get win number 1 with that scheme here in the Sprint Series, but gonna have to beat Faden and beat Lowe. Gonna have to try to whip this top side, get clear of the number 1, to have a shot at Lowe. And he's gonna do that, maybe, and he does. So now, with 2 laps to go, now he has to chase down Lowe, and that's gonna be hard to do because Alexander Rowe, it's been very competitive for the top 7 spots all night, but Lowe's been by far the best part.
Well, all you gotta do is beat him at the line, and Monaco is gonna have a chance at winning this race. He's right in the tire tracks of Alexander Rowe right here, trying to sniff a bit of a draft through the corner. Of course, we'll have to see if he can get enough of a run for this last lap. Here we go. White flag in the air in the South Florida 200 for Alexander Rowe. He's led the most laps here tonight. He's going to get that bonus point towards the championship for that. But Monaco wants the most points, and he's got a nose to the inside for the race lead. And here we go. We're going to be side by side on the last lap here at Homestead. Eric Monaco trying to hold on to the inside lane. Alexander Rowe's going to try to hold on to the outside lane. He's going to try it here. I don't think he's going to have enough. Eric Monaco trying to hold that inside. It's going to be tight off the corner, but it's going to be Eric Monaco stealing the win here in the South Florida 200. A last lap pass on Alexander Rowe for the race win at Homestead.
Wow, what a Sprint Series race at Homestead that we just saw. Last lap pass for Monaco, and hey, I said that Fast No Scheme's trying to get ranked number 1 in the sprint series, even though I made it happen. Wow, what a race here at Homestead. Last up pass, I feel so bad for Eric Monaco. Maybe he might not be feeling too happy about that one either, letting that step away from him, but still a great one in second, and what a race here at Homestead for the South Florida 200.
And not only that, assuming Monaco signs up for Daytona next week, he'll start on the pole alongside Alexander Rowe. Fastest lap for Monaco. Aaron Bates, third. The One Machine will start fourth. That one was Nathan Faden. Vinny Scholes with the fifth fastest time, and then so on. Take a look at that for your reference. So, all the drivers who return for the Daytona 250 will start in the order of the fastest lap right here. And then all the new drivers who are not in this race here will start behind them in the order in which they signed up. So you see right there the fastest lap. What a race that was, and that just makes me more excited for Friday's race and the Wawa 400 in the Cup Series, where we see the best of the best go at it right on this racetrack. How about that margin of victory, too? You know, that's probably going to make the closest finishes of the year once we get down to it at the end of the year. And, you know, this was only, what, the 6th official race of 2024? Not bad. How about Eric Monaco, Alexander Rowe, Priya McShane, and Zayden Davidson? They are the 4 drivers who will be in the Wawa 400. Monaco will be driving for Titan Fury. Hey, you know, he's driving for Titan Fury here in this race in the 31. Alexander will be in the 50, Priya McShane will be in the 00, and Zayden Davidson will be in the 11 for Grattan Autosport in the Wawa 400. And you see the starting lineup for the Wawa 400 there on the right-hand side of your screen. Of course, we don't know what it's like right now, but hey, what a race there for Eric Monaco, what a race in general, and what are you looking forward to on Friday with the opening points race of the Wawa Cup Series right here in Homestead?
Well, hopefully we see more like that, because that was a fantastic race here for the Sprint Series, and these Sprint Series drivers showed why Homestead is one of the best mile halves on and in real life. And if we see more of that, with the 3 and 4 wide racing, the multi-groove racing, the inside, the middle, the outside, to me it could be in for a show here for the Wawa 400 later this weekend.
It's going to be a lot of fun. That's all I know. And excited to get the points paying racing started. Of course, hey, signups for the Daytona 250 are probably up right now, so go ahead, check that out. And you don't want to miss out on a chance at the Daytona 500. But either way, thank you so much for watching here from the Homestead-Miami Speedway. Eric Monaco, your race winner of the South Florida 200. I almost called it the Wawa 400, but hey, that's this Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time right here on AG the channel, the opening points paying race in the Wawa Cup Series. Congratulations to Eric Monaco on his race victory here from Homestead. Here are the point standings for the Herr Sprint Series after the first 2 races. And we'll see you guys next Wednesday for the Daytona 250. That race will more than likely start at 6:45 p.m. Eastern Time. So go ahead and check that out. An opportunity at the Daytona 500 at play. And hey, it's still a points race as well, so these guys are going to be racking up those points as well. Thank you so much for watching once again. On behalf of Nathan Stapleton, here are the points. Congratulations to Eric Monaco, and I will see you guys later.